answering the fire. I don't know.
This, of course, was the garage. Here's the remainder of the garage door and my motorcycle. And I had an inversion table here.
Fires up in Northern California have now destroyed 53 square miles and have killed 23 people.
They've been battling those fires for days, but the major fires are still less than 10% contained. CBS 2's Greg Mills is live in Santa Rosa this morning. And Greg, unfortunately, just not a good update on this.
No, and in fact, I can update something that you just had. I've checked. FEMA is reporting now 24 people have died in this fire. And sadly, we could expect more people to die because they have not checked every home that is burned down. And again, there's hundreds of people that are missing. But yeah, no good news really. Fire is still raging through Northern California. They're really having a hard time getting this thing stopped. The winds, they haven't picked up as much as they could, but they certainly are here. Huge flames raced up and down hillsides in Northern California overnight, destroying everything in the way, including David Arnwine's home in Squaw Valley.
It was all around my house. And I thought, oh, the helicopters are here and everything. And then all of a sudden, there goes the house. It was gone.
Flames devoured a Kmart store here in Santa Rosa, and all firefighters could do was watch it burn. Fire officials say 22 large fires are burned.
The good news really is the wind event that was predicted to blow through the night in today did materialize quite to the level as predicted. So that gave us a better opportunity to have more containment on our fires.
Aerial footage showed a mail truck driving through a neighborhood that is completely gone.
It's heartbreaking. It is crushing. This looks like another planet.
More than 20,000 people have been evacuated, and many
are very strange and suspect, to say the least. We have specific areas being burned, like energy was being directed at certain things. In drone footage of the aftermath, we see houses completely obliterated and turned to ash, while the surrounding landscapes and trees are totally fine. Here is a clip courtesy of Serbian Conspiracy. I'll put a link in the description. You'll notice here that stores and restaurants are wiped out while other things are still in perfect shape. Other buildings are fine, trees are untouched, but specific structures are just devastated. You gotta ask yourself, what's up with that? How did the fires get to these certain buildings, but the surrounding areas, including the parking lot, look normal? Is this the result of direct energy weapons? Ranged weapons that inflict damage on a target by emitting highly focused energy? The answer is most likely yes, but most people believe that these kind of weapons are just science fiction, due to movies like Austin.
This is the only fire in the whole wide world that's considered a forest fire where the forest did not burn. The forest didn't burn here. All the glass melted. All the structural materials that used to be a house have disappeared. They have disappeared. You have a couple of bent poles here, a couple of poles that are bent, but you have absolutely no materials. The houses have not fallen. The houses have disappeared. The materials of these contents of these houses are gone. Let's listen to what they have to say here. She's going to talk a little bit about it. Well, first, let's go here. I want to show you where these fires are. Because if you're like me, you didn't know that there were 14 separate fires. How did 14 separate fires start over such a wide area? You guys, this isn't normal. This is not how it works. These homes didn't fall. These homes didn't burn. These homes disappeared. There's nothing left. There's not even a toilet bowl or a bathtub. This is one of the cars or trucks or something that was in this fire, and you'll notice that the glass here, which has a melting point of between 2,600 and 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit, okay? We're talking forge, foundry, furnace temperatures to melt this glass. Glass does not melt on its own, guys. Open air fires do not create this kind of complete combustion of the materials.
Microwave weapon technology. How else would this tree catch on fire from the inside?
A haunting but mesmerizing scene from the wildfires in Sonoma County. A man came across this tree burning from the inside out. Matthew McDermott was driving around looking for escape routes as multiple fires closed in on the area he was in. The tree appears to be hollowed out by embers and flames.
Right? You could look this up. This is all over the news. Tree on fire from the inside. The only time that happens is when trees are struck by lightning, which in itself is a direct energy, right? This whole thing is all messed up. Hurricane after hurricane, which are also able to be created and controlled by man. And now this.
Hey guys, it's 11:30 a.m. on October 10th, 2017, and I just wanted to go over some basic facts with you guys about fires. The average house fire burns at a temperature of about 1,100 degrees Fahrenheit, which isn't hot enough to destroy most metals and earthly made substances. And if an item is well placed and small in size, its chances of survival increase drastically. Let's take a look at the burning point of a couple of materials. Glass burns at around 2,600 to 2,900 degrees Fahrenheit, which is more than double the regular temperature of house fires or forest fires. And let's see what we can find out about aluminum. Aluminum melts at around 1,220 degrees. Some alloys burn a little bit hotter, around 1,900 degrees. Now let's take a look at what the National Institute of Fire Safety and Safety Training say what will not generally burn in a house fire. Jewelry, because it's metal. Silver coins, because they're metal. Filing cabinets, steel filing cabinets are built to last so that businesses won't have to deal with the loss of important files after building fires. Many people keep personal documents in filing cabinets, which are often kept in home offices. And it says here that silver burns around 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's go down to barbecue grills, cookware, some appliances, stone table, fire safes. Let's see, it says here about tools. Because the melting point of carbon steel is between 2,600 and 28 degrees Fahrenheit. And the melting point of stainless steel is roughly 2,700 degrees. So you're not going to see your barbecues melt. You're not going to see your ovens and your most of your appliances. They're not going to melt. They'll be burned, they'll be damaged, but they're not going to melt. It's common to find an appliance or two that remains intact. There's chaos around there, but many appliances these days are made with stainless steel, which gives them a sleek and design durability. So a lot of people have these things, but the metal, the frame itself of these things is not going to melt. So let's take a peek at what happened here. Well, let me just show you some pictures here of normal house fires. What's usually left afterwards. There's a bunch of rubble and everything's black. Usually the frames of the buildings stand. And there's a bunch of crap around the trees or around the place, buildings. The frame of the building stays intact. The entire building does not disappear. There's still debris. There's a huge debris field after these things. You see there's like gutters and stuff. And the wood, even though it does burn, it doesn't totally burn. Now this is white stuff from what they put the fire out with, but generally you see that all of these houses, every one of them is black. Now this car was right next to a fire, and it still has glass. Its wheels are still intact. This thing actually burned, but it didn't melt the tires. It didn't melt the glass of the vehicle. You see all the rubble? This is just rubble because these places implode. After the structure falls apart, it collapses. But you still see they're all singed. They're all black. And even in the forest fires, the trees themselves are still black. And you can see, you have bricks on the bottom, And not all the aluminum siding or vinyl siding melts. Look at these. The structure, the outward frame of the houses still stands, but that's not what we see in these crazy forest fires. The entire things just disappear, and there's very little explanation for it. Now this was a USA something wildfire. So this is a new trend we're seeing where the entire building just disappears. There's absolutely nothing left, and that's what we're seeing again here in this. And this is becoming a growing trend, guys. There's no explanation for it. I want to show you a couple of things here that should really should be visible to the people with eyes to see. Here's this neighborhood before. And I want you to look, you guys. There's absolutely nothing left. You don't see any part of any of the structures anywhere. This isn't possible. There's something else going on here. Something else going on here. The entire building, everything's gone but the trees. Now I want you to notice here that there's absolutely nothing of the structures left, not one of them. The trees are still here. There's debris, but very, very little debris. Where's the stuff that was in all these houses? Where's the stuff? Where's the roofs? Where's the brick? Where's the granite countertops? Where's the appliances? Where is everything? How come only the trees are standing? This is just not right. And then look at the fires that are still burning here. Look at these fires. These look awfully familiar, don't they? Let's take a peek, because Dr. Judy Woods has spoken about these before.
Other things about the weird fires. I can't call them regular fire because I don't know that. Weird fire just to note that it's not something that you know for sure what it is. It's glowing, but the paper doesn't seem to burn. If this was glowing because it's hot, it'd have to be at least, 1,200 degrees centigrade. Aluminum melts at a little over 600 degrees centigrade. It's not a puddle. This aluminum is not a puddle.
So what she's saying is that this is a certain color, and flames reach this color at a certain temperature. But the fact that it's glowing that color and the aluminum isn't melting tells you there's something else going on here. And if you guys have ever seen a Duralog, that's what this reminds me of. Like, if you've ever burned a Duralog in a fireplace and poked your fire poker into it, you realize these things just kind of break into a million pieces and they continue to glow. They're not actually still on fire, and they're hot, but they're not the same kind of flame that you get out of a piece of wood. There's something significantly different about the composition of a Duralog, and these things all seem to be burning like Duralogs. It's a complete and absolute burn. There's nothing left of a Duralog afterwards, and that's what we're seeing in these fires. Now, I'm not saying everybody built their houses at Duralogs, but there's something really messed up going on here.
Puddle, so how hot can it be? And this igloo cooler and the plastic trash can are not melted. The paper is not burned either on the ground. So what is that color? And another weird thing about this, right across the street over here is Burger King. And inside they're flipping burgers, cooking burgers for the firefighters. Not serving to the customers, and then the building across the street was missing. It's just a weird sight. Now this van is also interesting that, you get all this something looks like it's on fire, weird fires there. This van down here has a fire on the side of it. What's burning? And if you say falling debris that was on fire hit these vehicles, why didn't it hit anything else? And how's it, under the vehicle? It's just very strange.
And we're going to see this here in just a second. I'm going to keep playing this video over here so you guys can see that that's exactly what we see here. Watch this. Notice that see how they're all just kind of burning like, I don't know what. And these cars, I'm going to back up here. These cars are all smashed. They have no glass. They're all smashed. Watch this. All of these, they're like smashed to hell. Look at this. And what the heck is this? What's going on here? How did this car all catch on fire? It's got no glass. It's all destroyed. And what is this beam? Look at this. Look at this. The car looks like it's been run over. And what is this? What is burning here? What is burning here? This is the exact same thing we saw on September 11th, you guys. There's something very messed up here. You know, with September 11th, one of the most suspicious...
All right, so let's blow the skirts over your guys' heads by showing you how this works. This is part of the Agenda 21. I highly recommend a book by Rosa Corey, who lives here in the area of Santa Rosa, wrote a book called Behind the Green Mask about Agenda 21. She chronicled the Santa Rosa area, and look what gets targeted, Santa Rosa, Sonoma, Napa. All right, so here's the areas of evacuation on Monday. This is where the fires first started. Big one in Santa Rosa, Napa, Sonoma. This is when it first broke out. All right, now check this out. Now here's the evacuation area from Santa Rosa. Now notice the streets: Fountain Grove, Chenate, Montecito. Notice where these were evacuations on the initial thrust. Now I want to bring your attention over to this document here. And this is a document that was sent by a lady named Kathleen. It's the City of Santa Rosa Department of Planning and Economic Development, Citywide Summary Pending Development, June 2017. And if you go back and forth between these two, you will notice these streets are the exact same. Here's Chenate, here's Pacific, Mendocino Avenue, here's Highway 12. Isn't it interesting that the exact areas that they're evacuating are the exact areas that are zoned for Agenda 21 development? You cannot make this stuff up. This is from Kathleen, who wrote, the maps of the fires in the plan are already approved housing projects are nearly identical. I think that our government developers who put them in office are the arrogance and think that no one will notice. If anyone does point this all out, being able to prove it is another issue. Now they've taken the site down since she posted it. She did a screensaver, so we have it still. All the insurance companies are set up at the shelters to process claims. Pay everyone off fast, calm them down, and put money towards the new home. When they find out how much additional money will cost and how long it takes to navigate the building permits process, buying a ready-made brand new home will be an easy decision, even if it means a much smaller one on a smaller lot. It kills me when I think of all the people who are homeless and who, if they have the means and determination to rebuild, will not be able to have anything like the homes they lost, even if they have unlimited funds, because of the absurd building codes that are being put in place thanks to the UN Agenda 21. Fireplaces won't be allowed. Setback requirements are changed. Building height requirements. Green engineering design requirements. And what do you think after these fires are going to do, folks? They're going to add to that. And other arbitrary codes that were deliberately created to make a building a residence needlessly frustrating, time-consuming, and very expensive for developers. How convenient that everyone who just recently lost a home will be able to buy a ready-made stack-and-pack residence in a nice but much smaller planned development with their insurance money, if they get any. There are plenty of even smaller apartment options will be there. What about all the burned-down properties? People will be glad to get whatever they can if they choose not to rebuild, and the developers, banks, and speculators are waiting now with cash in hand. This is happening with FEMA in Houston as well, talking to people. FEMA finally arrived, and they set up a loan office. You can borrow up to $200,000 against your molded home. And this is part of the same game. This is Agenda 21, Agenda 2030. Please read up on this, folks. But getting back to this document. So here's the evacuation area over here. Santa Rosa evacuation area. Here's the identical map of where they want to rezone everything. And if we scroll down, here's all the properties you see. Conditional use, design review major. And here we go again. Here's the same roads: Piner, Guerneville, West College Avenue. And this is the pending development on the other side of the freeway. Same exact stuff. College, Pacific, Fulton.
Okay.
Trump was right. Look who was just busted for starting deadly Cali fire that killed 41 so far. Here's why. The California wildfires have been raging for quite some time, which has caused unprecedented damage in the region. Now, it is important to note that fires in the California area are not unheard of, but they typically occur in December and January, and not October. These fires have forced thousands of residents to leave their homes in terror, not knowing what they will return to when they are able. Law enforcement officials have been working tirelessly to figure out who started these horrific wildfires, and it appears they may have the culprits that prove President Trump was right yet again. On Monday, firefighters have been able to gain control of the raging wildfires in the Northern California area. However, even though these brave firefighters have been able to make headway in containing the fire, the death toll has risen to 41. Over the last week, these raging fires have scorched more than 200,000 acres, destroyed or damaged more than 5,500 homes, and displaced 100,000 people. Though by some miracle on Sunday, the winds changed and the firefighters were able to take advantage of that situation and contain some of the fires. Now that the firefighters have been able to make some headway in these deadly fires, law enforcement has been focusing on what caused them, and what they found is shocking. As officials were studying the fires, they noticed a pattern of where the majority of them occurred. It seems that areas hardest hit by these fires were in areas within the legal marijuana business, and they are now suspecting foul play. As it turns out, the areas that are being hit the hardest happens to be pot farms. CNN Money reported. Deadly wildfires in Northern California are burning up marijuana farms in the so-called Emerald Triangle. Blazes have destroyed a number of farms in Mendocino County right before legal recreational sales begin in California. Cannabis business owners who lose their crops have little reprieve. Nobody right now has insurance, said Nikki Lastrito, secretary of the Mendocino Cannabis Industry Association. They might have insurance on their house, but not on their crop. Here is more from GOT News. The suspicious timing and sheer destruction of the fires have led them to believe the Mexican drug cartels, infamous for their ruthless tactics, had a hand in starting them. These cartels, which run a large share of the world's multi-billion-dollar illegal drug trade, certainly have the means to pull off an attack like this. They also have an enormous incentive to drive up prices and hurt their competitors, and these fires are already accomplishing that. If Mexican drug lord involvement is confirmed, it will likely spark an international crisis between the United States and Mexico over the latter's failure to rein in its criminal cartels. Facebook photos provided to GOT News show the wildfires have caused staggering damage, with several before and after pictures revealing the extent of the devastation. The New York Times reported yesterday that tens of thousands of marijuana growers live in this area, the vast majority of whom have no insurance. Furthermore, since marijuana remains an illegal drug under the Controlled Substances Act, the industry still uses cash. GOT News